following up from the table tennis there, which has got some amazing stories, to talk about our charity and sort of give you some context. We're a very service user led service that Active Lives provides activities for people, and Grace Eyre as a whole has multiple different systems that it operates. So we do supported living, we provide housing, we have shared lives placements, we have community outreach. Most of those services have been relatively unaffected in terms of their ability to deliver, whereas the Active Lives activity service fell into that. We've got to close the building, we've got to shut down our services, no one can come together. So if we just skip on to the next slide, thinking about before the pandemic sort of happened, the sort of scale that our service was focused around a large community hub, which had about 20 different group activities a day to around 90 people a day. And that would be a mix of sessions inside our main building, but also going out and using the community, such as coming over to the table tennis centre to join up over there. And we've been going for many years now. It's an amazing relationship. We also run multiple projects that work in a one-to-one kind of way, such as travel training, employment skills, health and nutrition, things like that, that work really well as one-to-ones for people. And then we also have the Friendship Project, which was completely set up as a social engagement activity. So it focused on bringing people together in, say, a pub or for a meal or for a trip to the theatre, to create the opportunities to make real friendships. And then what we want to see is those to split off and become just a standard friendship where they go off and have a coffee together, just the two of them. It's not an organised event. It doesn't have a staff member helping or lots of volunteers. They just go off and do exactly what everybody wants to do. So over the next couple of slides, I'm going to talk about how we changed the Friendship Project from something that was very much focused on face-to-face to an online system, and also how we sort of looked at our large group activity service. So if we just skip on to the next slide. So all the face-to-face activities stopped literally overnight. It was very shocking for everybody. They were all very concerned, and we could really see the gap in terms of the social connection rather than the necessarily missing out on activity. It was the social connection. It's a very social centre that we have. So our friendship group was immediately tasked with focusing on going digital. And we have a lead in there called Charlotte, who suddenly had to develop a whole new set of skills and take that on. But also at the same time, we had to start thinking, how do we look to develop our activities in online sessions? And once it became clear that lockdown wasn't going to ease in any sensible way, we worked our way towards starting to begin trials of online activities for people. So if we just go on to the next slide. So the friendship group just it's very honest and real. And one of my favorite things is Charlotte's picture on the left there, where she's experiencing what a lot of us do. I heard a few people at the beginning, my signal, my this. Charlotte actually has her internet out at home at the moment, typical for us, but we've been really open through this process with people that we're all learning something new. Things will go wrong. You know, this isn't about perfection. So that also puts everybody at ease when it does go wrong. And that's really helped people. And what we've sort of been building there is a community, because we've told pretty much everybody from day one of lockdown to join our Facebook group for friendship. So we have one target for everybody to be sent to. We've gone from having about 25 members to having 166 today. And what that means is we're starting to truly see a community start to interact. So rather than Charlotte having to sort of launch everything and say, hey, what have you done today? Or what are you doing today? Or do you want to talk about this? We're starting to see people just share their stories. So I made this today, whether that be a loaf of bread, and we've definitely seen a lot of bread, including prize-winning bread from some of the local bakeries, to puppets they've made, to runs they've done, and they're just talking about it and they're getting that interaction. So like the corner on the right there is about a lady that's done baking. You know, she went along with one of our baking instructions that we shared, and she's made it and she shared that, how it was. and it's probably too small to see on there, but she makes a joke about the washing up, like all of us. You want to make it, you want to like enjoy it, but the washing up bit, that's not great fun. And there's a load of engagement with that. Conversations happen, friendships start to form. I'm already seeing that the same sort of people might interact with certain individuals. And then when a new topic comes up, you'll suddenly see people that are interested in running share with another person that's interested in running. So we're really starting to see it. And what we're doing in the background is having some weekly activities, such as there's a highlight there of the music chat and quiz. So there's no pressure about performance in terms of getting the answers right. It's like, just come together, let's share a common interest. And because of Charlotte's tech issues, we've actually been able to hand over the ownership of that to the users of it. So the people we've set this all up to try and give it engagement are now just joining sessions with no volunteers, no staff, and just getting on with it, which has been wonderful to see. If you just skip on to the next slide. So once again, it's a bit small, but as you can see, we've created a very core set of activities for people to know when it happens and what day it happens. And that's basically a rock solid, like this will happen every week with us or without us, which is the really nice thing. So they know to turn up and get on with it. And we also do lots of polls within the friendship to try and figure out what do they want us to do? How would they like the next things to be evolved? This particular one is about the fact it's Friendship Week in the Learning Disability Awareness Week, which is really, really apt for today. And this is saying, what do you want us to do? How shall we market in our group? You know, and everyone wants to make nice posters at home. And so later on this week, they'll be sharing them. And by creating that and being very stable with it and only having this one place that we kept on telling people to go to, we've brought enough people together that the community's functioning and we've got regular engagement. I almost use the word attendance, but it's very different, this sort of thing. It's engagement. And that's been a great success through this period. And it was one of the things that was really enjoyable to be able to share about when I've joined some of the digital Brighton meetups before. So that's friendship. If we go on to the next slide, it's probably quite a busy slide if I remember rightly. This is about our online activities. So traditionally we do groups. We bring lots of people together that have a common interest in art and they sign up for a mosaic course or they sign up for a table tennis course or anything. We run 90 different sessions a week in our normal engagement program. And since we began the trial, we got up to about 24 group activities a week. And there's a whole range of examples in here. We've got our Dance for Fitness going on in the bottom left corner. We've got our art groups going on in the bottom right corner. We have a chair yoga in the top right. In the top left, we have gardening via Zoom, where people are growing tomato plants and other items that we can do with or without a garden. And that was really nice. We tried to call it connecting to nature, and that didn't really hit home with anyone. We called it gardening and everybody's come and they really enjoy it. And people are really enjoying just connecting, doing something. And in the center at the top there is just that positive sort of meaning to doing this. When we bring people together in whatever format for whatever type of thing, there's a real smile factor of them seeing people they recognize from their day at the services to suddenly engage, whether that be with the staff member or with other people in the group. It's been so nice, but it has been really challenging to develop a whole new range of skills for the staff that are leading it, a whole new way of operating, a whole new way of having to communicate. We're using email, WhatsApp, Facebook, God knows what else. But just seeing it start to work, it has been amazing. So, you know, we're carrying on with that. We think online activities and things like the friendship group being digital rather than physical is going to be a really important thing for the next 9 to 12 months. We don't see it necessarily being able to drop away in October or anything like that. We think it's going to be a really important part of keeping many people that might choose not to come out of isolation for a while, whether that's because they're shielding or there's just not something that interests them to bring them out and take those next steps. And we've done a lot of work because a lot of the people we work with do live either with family or with some form of professional care. And we've done a lot of work with those because around 20 of those didn't even have an email address when we went into lockdown. And they'd always refused to get an email address because we like to communicate via email. It saves the charity a lot of money on mail outs and things like that if we can send out. And we now got down to, I think it's just under 10 people left now that won't get an email address. Everybody else is starting to catch up. So people are realizing that right now, everything's happening online and they need to overcome some of those anxieties around doing that. And we've been able to support them ourselves in some cases, or recommend them through the COVID response page on the digital Brighton information, where they can get bigger help, such as maybe being able to get funding or get donated a piece of kit, and also get a volunteer that can help train them. I don't personally know how many people have taken that next step with that, but we've really been recommending out there because it's so important in this moment, and we're really seeing that benefit for the individuals that are coming on and doing it. And it has been a real shift, and Active Lives would probably not have taken this step for a very long time in any meaningful way for online activities. We were a direct delivery service, and it is still what our core sort of port model should be and will be, but this has just been great. The friendship group is just fantastic, and we're seeking more funding for that so we can really develop it and spread it out more openly across the county, because we do have a lot of people that are in Brighton and Hove, but Grace Eyre as a whole cover London and West Sussex, and we sometimes have projects in East Sussex. So we've got a lot of work to do, but we're really, really positive about what the tech can do, and we're really seeing great engagement at the moment. So that's me.
That's really exciting, David. Thank you. I think particularly the rise in numbers, I think, is incredible. Obviously, the ability for people to engage who might not have been able to attend some of those other events, as you say, I mean, that geographic spread as well. That's absolutely fantastic. We've got a question in the chat here from Sam Hart. You talked about skills and needing new skills. Did you do anything particularly to prepare service users for the different communication skills? To be able to give us a little bit of information about that?
So we had very little time. So our traditional preparing people was very limited. So as we developed the friendship group, because that went first, we kept on sharing a easy to follow guide, easy read guide to join in the Facebook group. So, or how even to join Facebook if they didn't have an account or didn't have someone that could join for them. Because some have joined through, like, say, a family member or a group account, then that's been fine. But we sent out like easy read versions to try and help. We talk to a lot of people, and we do ongoing continue to talk. We make a lot of phone calls every week across the whole organisation. We try and check in with pretty much everybody every week to check on their well-being, and then we can talk if there's any challenges. And only today I had a phone call from one of the people going, I haven't got my Zoom invite for my dance class today. And we're going through all the steps, and it's like, okay, I think I can do it this way. Can you open this app? And we're talking it through. And, you know, that's a person that really struggles with literacy, but we managed to do it over the phone and talk through typing in the password and getting on. And then just about 20 minutes later, I get sent a picture from the lead of the session going, oh, it's brilliant to have this person back. But yeah, we found a lot of talking was really good. Very limited time to prepare people though, and we've really worked with their circles of support